Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
The Steelers are one of the class defenses to have going into last season, as they were coming off arguably one of the better defensive seasons that we've seen in a good amount of time. As that defense, for the most part, they carried that team into the Super Bowl. And, Ben Roethlisberger and then played a good game offensively in the Super Bowl. But for the most part, for the season and even the playoffs heading into that, it was the defense that was bringing them to the dance, because their offense just really wasn't there, especially their running game that was not there with Willie Parker, and they just didn't have it going. Last year we come into there, they get that, right off the bat, Troy Polamalu gets a knee injury, and he's just not right the rest of that season. He tried to come back, things just weren't right, and we found out that right now, at least for that defense last year, they're about as good as Troy Polamalu is. Obviously, coming into this season is going to be key, as it will be in seasons for who knows how long. Troy Polamalu's got to stay healthy. But my thing about the Steelers' defense is they've had their ups, they've had their downs, but I can never remember that defense for the longest time ever putting two down years for themselves together in a row. Usually they always respond off of a year they haven't been that strong. They come back and they're real strong. So I would definitely expect, and they have the personnel to still be real strong this season. They still have the defensive coordinator to be real strong this season. And they're going to get back to running the football and playing hard-nosed ball. There's going to be some games maybe that they lose early on with Roethlisberger, but I don't think those games are going to be by wide margins. They're still going to be hard, tough, hard-hitting ball games where they're playing good, sound defense. Remember, they didn't have a great offense 2 years ago, but that defense was carrying them. If Troy Polamalu's healthy, I do believe that defense is going to get after it this year. They added good depth in the draft at their linebacker position. You need a lot of good rotational, depth at that linebacker spot. In a 3-4, you're always going to need it. They have a good line up front to stuff the run and to play good there. Obviously, again, the chip piece that's most key is Troy Polamalu, and mainly because of all the range. He's not just smart, but the range that he can cover in the backfield is amazing. Just, for stuffing the run, coming up to stuff the run, make a blitz, just everything that he does. He is such a special athlete in that defense, that he really makes that thing go. I do think they'll be a top 5 fantasy defense again this year. I would expect, go out and pick them up. If you don't end up getting teams like maybe the Ravens or the Jets this year of your draft, then you should take a look at the Steelers and, put your bets on them that they're going to bounce back and have you a really nice season.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football.